welcome to Oakley Hour, and for this one I am hoping to complete the outside of the house, maybe even get a bit more. We will see. However, last one of our countryside notes, I said to you that I thought it was really weird that this didn't have the colour that they had, and that's because there was this little piece of paper. So because I've already put my grass in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this and just stick it in there. So bear with me, let me get that rectified, because that was a little bit amiss of me. I just didn't see it. I looked at that template page like 4 times and I still never saw it. Anyway, I will get this done. those have had a few minutes to sit. So this piece, where did I put that? There it is. This piece here, this window, you had to cut that tiny piece of lace in half. So it's not pretty, it's done. Not keen on it. Let's pretend that doesn't exist. So now what we do, I'm going to leave this one to last because that's my little broken one, is just cut these out. And this is the way that I find the easiest, is after the event, so that I've got the wood to use as the guide. And hopefully, yes, it is lining up. And we'll do that on all of these. The windows will be, I mean, I couldn't imagine getting a pair of, for me, getting a pair of scissors for that window, and or the windows of these, some of these, and doing it that way. I mean, this, yes, okay, I could have cut it out, but that looks all right. That's a little bit of a, well, it can be cut more. There you go. Just don't pull it like I just did. That's okay. Alright, next we will do this one. Get off me. So it's not probably fully dry yet, but it's probably good enough. Just go careful, because some of this is, as you saw, very thin and breakable. I need to be a little bit more careful. This happens a fair chunk there. It is a reasonably new blade. However, it is reasonably sticking. There we go. And then these tiny little windows, just hold it down firm and hope and pray. With these tiny edges, like on here and here, I mean, they are thin, and those are thicker than the other one that I broke. So let's see where it's sticking down this side. That's sticking at the bottom. There we go. And last one on this piece. As I go through the wood, don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Like I say, my channel's all about the errors you make, I swear, in how to rectify them. I have ways to rectify, it seems, and what to worry about and what not to. I mean, this is quite a central part, so, of the whole thing, although I'm not sure how much we're likely to see when it's put together. But let's assume it's a fair chunk. I'm gonna cut this a little bit like that. Then the next piece, that's okay, it's definitely not perfect, but probably as best as I'm gonna get. Right, this one is more problematic because of my little piece. Let's do the window first, give that a few more minutes to dry. Yep, totally missed the wall, and now that I can see it ripped. Go down there. It's like delivery time around here, I think. Just had Amazon, and now got someone else here, which looks like another Amazon. But maybe it's not. Okay, do that top piece again. There we go. Just go careful taking that out. Right, another part that I've been dreading because of the spill. So because it's got glue up here, it will be harder to go through that. Just bear that in mind. done. So not too bad. It kind of, go very careful, this is very loose, as you can see. But by the time we get it in the house, it will be okay. I mean, it could do with a little trim here. I'm just scared to touch it. Let's see if I can just pull that off. Don't do that. Just stay there. Right, next we are going to put the windows on the house. So the top window is going to go here. This is wood to wood. It's the opposite way around, by the way, of what I just showed you, I think. Yeah, the bigger window is going to go at the bottom, which makes more sense because it looks bigger. And that just pops on there. And then this one will go on here. Probably don't need this much glue, and you could probably use a lot less. For some reason that glue came out with a pink tint, and this is the proper pin as well, so I don't know. Do it now. Just go with it, right? I mean, the nice things about these bottles, of course, is that they could be a lot more precise. Okay, and that is going to go to one side for the moment while we put this together. So we need this side facing, that's the first thing. And we're going to need this piece, yes, which is going to go in here. And you can actually see on here, there is, get it the right way, there is a line here. That's where the wall goes, and that's where the other line goes. This wall, that's all breaky. Right, so all I'm going to do is, like I say, it is wood glue. So, oh, it's not wood glue. I mean, it is wood glue, but it's wood to wood. So I'm using wood glue. That's what I meant to say. Gosh, words. And then just pop that as close to the edge as you can. And I'm going to get my, oh, you know what, I should have my paper down. Oh well, we've started, you know, not to get it on my board. And then I'm going to put this one on with the wallpaper facing inwards, in the hope that we're going to be able to get that to reasonably stay upright. And I don't want to put any pressure on this one because obviously it's had that break. Right, let me get my paper. Alright, okay, so don't want to touch this hardly at all. So then this piece goes above it with the this side over here. So I'm going to put glue on here in the hope that that will stabilize everything and I don't have to touch the other part. Just double checking myself here. I'm not gone crazy. No, that's right. So I'm going to put this along here because that's where it's roughly going to go. Because the least amount I could touch this piece of glue here with it broken, the better. Let me get that a bit more central. I know it's wobbly, but then it will have time to dry. And as I put my finger in it all. Well, never mind, I lied anyway. It goes on the end. Wow, eyesight. So it didn't overly matter that I put my hands all over it. And you want the gap, this here, towards the back. So you want it something like this and like that, and that will help stabilise that wall. I'm going to tip it on its side to make sure it's all lined up at the back. And I see this one's come out slightly. I don't want to mess with it too much. Maybe I should have just gone with it, huh? And not touched it. Ah, who knows? Why it's so unstable. as I say, very unstable. You can see why people use super glue. However, wood glue is the better option. And this I feel more confident with touching. And then we are going to put a wall on the top. So, which is what I was seeing, I think. Let's make sure it's reasonably lined up. You should be okay. And then when I do the small parts, I will move my camera in a different direction. Okay, so this wall has slightly gone skew with, basically. So I'm just straightening that out a bit. Okay. Right, stop touching it. Then we are going to put this wall along here, and again there are a couple of grey marks here to show where it goes, and you want the outside looking part, which is way around, pointing towards this way. And then this will go on paper, believe it or not, that we just put those windows on, which will also help stabilise everything. And then we'll put a roof on, but I'm not going to do that until it's all dry. So let's get this, and then we have to decorate it with rope, so it's really kind of unusual. And this will square everything up too, so give it some extra support. And you wouldn't think paper would be strong enough, but I've done one like this before and it's actually surprisingly okay. Okay. And you want it with the stairs. Just checking myself again. Towards the back. So like this. We should stop putting my hands in it. Okay, the last thing I want to do is touch that one. And this should all line up on the paper. Should. Okay, so far so good. Alright. Righty guys, that is done. Just needs pushing down a little bit. Just pushing in. Which is fine, don't mind touching this one. It's the other one I don't want to touch. I'm just checking that all. And then I am going to leave this to one side for it to dry totally. Because next what we have to do, and I'll be doing this when it's dry, is put some roof pieces on and a balcony up here, which I probably can do. I will do that. I'll put this on, and then some stilts to hold this piece of wood in, all of which will have this grass. Not sure why it's got everything else attached to it. I don't know if we need this either. Like grass on top, so it's going to look like a thatched roof, like a cottage. Get rid of those. Like I say, this dries quite well. Just got to make sure it's touching everywhere it should be. So then we will, maybe I should have moved the camera because I can't really zoom this one in much more than what it is. So we will be having, stop touching it, these fencing posts for the balcony, on here, and it doesn't look like there's particularly a specific way that it goes other than up here. So that's quite a way in, so I'm going to get that closer to the edge. And then the other one like so, but you want them to join up, so I will bring this one back out a bit. Well, I really will. Doesn't look like I will, but I will. Pokey pokey. Poke it a little. Get that on the edge. This one a little bit in. And that's that. So not too bad. Then these two are going to be out here, like so. So this is how it looked in the end, which is fine. Get rid of that glare. Okay. I'm going to put a post here and a post here, so both there. And then this piece will balance on it and attach to, I can see this stuff. Attach to there, and then we will thatch it basically. So I'm going to put these in and give them a moment to dry. And you want them on the edge as best you can, as she says, and drops it. I mean, again, if you wanted to use super glue, I can understand this. I'm just not confident enough with it. I'd rather, like with wood glue, at least I could take it apart again if I screw up, basically. Don't touch that wall. No one would even notice it was broken. It's such a small piece. And then put these on the end like so. As I turn it the opposite way to what I intended. I'll make those sure those are straight and move them further and further across my board. But something like so. And then this will have this on it, but I'm going to definitely give that a few moments. So with this string we need several different layers. And it gets you to cut it already, because you're going to be putting it on the roof like this, or going across once the roof's on. It gets you to cut it and everything, but it's, I don't know why you can't just do that at the same time. Are we meant to be undoing it? Yes, you're meant to be making it fluffy, it says. Fluffy. So I'm just going to make it fluffy. So that it looks like thatching, I guess. So I guess like when you're doing this, it's kind of fanning it out a bit. Can you see that? And that's kind of what you want to do. All the way down. So let's get this piece on next, I think. Just trying to work out what's best. Yes, probably this piece next. And this is going to run down here. So let's do the bigger piece of the two. It's kind of going to be balancing on paper. That's going to be interesting. And I don't know if super glue may not be a better option on this. Okay. And then this way on this one. So join the two up. And I'm going to just run it along this edge down here. And I guess we could put some at the bottom there too. And then I'm going to let that dry before I mess around with that string. Oops. Let go of the... got glue all over me. And of course, you know, any sins are going to be quite well hidden with, hey, what are you doing down there? Quite well hidden with all that string going on top. Okay, so let's see if we can do this with it still wet. That's the question, can we? And this goes just to the bottom of the area there, just underneath the balcony, basically. It's risky with it so wet as this, especially if I'm doing it on the wrong side. Let's try it that way then. The thing is, if wood glue sits for a minute, this does start to become a little tacky, so that's always a good thing. Oops. And then I'm going to let this dry. Feed the pups. And take it from there. Trying to get the right angle for this. I think that way. I think the way I had it in the first place would work best. Keeps moving away from me, it's so light. Just looking at it to make sure that this is all okay. Alright, that looks alright. So I am literally going to put this to one side while I mess around with this string. Alrighty, so this is dry. So what we're going to do is put our string over like this to make it kind of look thatched. So we need some scissors. Best glue for the job is probably tacky. So you just want to avoid your windows here. And that's pretty much it really. Obviously the opening here. And then we will be doing this bottom piece down here too in a little bit. So like I say, just avoid the window. Okay, and that's plenty of glue on. Then what we're actually going to do once we've done this is we will, even though it doesn't tell you to do this yet, put it on the in the tin. So it's fine if it hangs over a little bit, it's not a big deal. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do so that that works better, is I'm going to start off with this one. Really gluified. I mean, it doesn't have to hang over that much, I guess. According to the picture, it doesn't overly hang over, but it is not a big deal. Getting loads of glue on my scissors here. So I'm going to start with these bottom ones. Not just on the scissors, all over my hands. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to run a few at the same time. Or at least two. And I guess if I'd cut them already and things like that, it would have been easier. However, I did not. And it's just kind of making it look thatched. Line those up. Pull this one down more. Doesn't need to be quite that way up. That high up even. Glue all over me. Not that you're going to see much of this really. And then, like I say, we'll put the light in and we will actually put it in the tin. Keeps it safe then. They don't get you to decorate it until after it's in the tin anyway, so I'm kind of just preempting that first. This one's very, not that one was fine. Go back in there. It's very stringy on the end. I'm just going to have that a little less. And then see if we can put one more piece down here. Push that other bit over. Like I say, just kind of gives it like a thatched country style. Wow. Made a total mess of that. Okay. Not at all what I was trying to do. Wanted to have the glue on the end here. We don't have any on the end again now because it's all went on that other piece. But it's okay, I've got plenty on my hands. Just so I've done this, I can go and wash them. Which is fine. Right, just have it that it's not quite so dry. Now we're going to work on the top part again. And this time, I'll be able to get one more in there. Maybe a little bit shorter than that. And you can always put them in and trim them afterwards as well. And these pieces will just be really small pieces, so like I say, it doesn't have to dangle quite as much as I've got it dangling. Oops. But you don't want it covering the window either. I'm going to trim this afterwards. I mean, of course you can cut all the pieces beforehand. It's entirely up to you. It's not something I'm doing. Oh, that was a bit short. Stuff. Let's put it on this top part. Trim this because it's so endy. There's one. Put this second one in. Just do this top part. Up to you really how you do this. I mean, you can trim it all before you ever get it on there, or you can do it similar to how I am. I'm just all into making it a little easier. And I've got one more short one, I think, maybe two. No, one more. and then we got some long ones again. So I'm going to go back to this little piece down here and do those ones. So I'm going to start with 2 strings of it. Like so. And then one more. And then we go for some long ones. These aren't all my dogs barking, it's everyone else's now. And then some long ones to go on here. And then before we put this in the house, we're going to get all this gluing rope off them. That's kind of cool. Just need one. Not much left of that one anyway. Could do with another one at the back, but you're not really going to see that once it's in the house. Just going to trim this over this balcony area. Right, keep some of this in case I need it, hopefully not. Just a pickle, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, so there wasn't a place to put the light, which I've put out and I've now dropped it. Oh, it's on the floor. Okay, so what I've done was I just pushed a hole through here towards the back, so it's meant to be in this section below the window at the top here. So I've made a little hole. I just use the tweezers, to be honest. Just do one at a time. It never works when I try and do more than one. Not even sure it's going to work with one. Alright, so I had to take them off to test them. Maybe now I can do both at the same time. And I can. Alright, so you just pull that all the way in. Kind of strikes me as weird why it'd be right at the bottom there. Just to make sure I've got that right. It seems such an odd place to put it. But that's exactly right. Okay then. So it's kind of going to be dangling over the stairs, I guess. I put a little bit more of this tacky glue. Not that I want to particularly touch it at the moment. Get this piece down. Clean those, and then this is going to go in our tin. So, and we would decorate it normally afterwards anyway, so you're not particularly doing anything overly different other than putting it in now rather than later. So this wire here goes, remember we left a little gap up towards the back. Let's see if you can see back here. Right here. So this is going to thread down there, and then you're going to want to catch it at the bottom here. So let's get those going in there, and then we will stick the house in, and we will decorate it after the event. And it is down there. So let's see if I can get them. I cannot. Quite get the right angle on them, and I don't want to pull the other ones. Oh, okay, all the way up here. Well, I was trying to dig for them much further in. Right, okay, and then pulling this, we will be sticking this to here. So I'm going to use I'm just going to carry on with the tacky glue. That worked quite well. I'm just going to put some on here, some on this back piece, and then pull the wiring. Let's make sure it's the right wiring. Yeah. And this just sits in this corner here, just here. So you can see the broken wall a bit. Maybe I should have had some of that grass stuff going down here too, hide it. Add a bit more. So I can see the light. I see the light. And then, oh, I broke that wall. Dang it. I'll put some wood glue on that in a minute. So what I'm then going to do is make sure that this is pushed all the way down and back, like so, and then bring it like so. And I'll get another clamp, I think, for up here. I'll go do that now. Right, we'll see. All my little clamps are in use right now. I don't want to break it either. Okay, that's not going to work. We're just going to have to hope and pray that goes down. Right, let me deal with this broken wall part. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to use this. I'm going to actually use some super glue. Shock horror. Don't hear me say that often. And I've got the Gorilla one with the brush, so I can be precise. Wow, as to where I can put it. Then tomorrow we will definitely be using the camera moved for closer viewing, because we will be making a lot of the small parts to go into the house. Hopefully all, but I don't know. All this fluff from this stuff. Alrighty, and that will be kept to dry. Got a lovely little spot on my windowsill, which is right by me, to keep all this sort of thing dry. It's a small bay, so it's kind of got a little bit of room, so it kind of like just puts it there out the way until the dogs go up there. And then when the dogs go up there, that's not such a good place, because yeah, that wouldn't be smart. Right, okay, so tomorrow I'll let you know what we're going to do. We will be building a shelf and oven, a chair, table and bed. We will see how far we can get this. That tartan material we will be using for a tablecloth, and also the bedspread, along with a flowery pillow. So we will give it a go. So a lot of very small pieces tomorrow, and that will take us on to page 7. So today we completed page 6. Anyway, I hope you are enjoying the build. It's not going together too bad. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We will be on page 7 tomorrow, and there's only 10 pages altogether, and we've already started putting some of the things together, so that makes it easier. Yeah, please like and subscribe so that you can be updated of any new content, and more than happy to have any comments, or you can send me an email at opallyhour@hotmail.com, and please do take care of yourself.